feel as though that in the educational systems that we have right now, they may be a little antiquated. In other words, we need to begin to look down the road and say, what are the issues? Is our society going to face?
The schools are facing the problems of the past. They're not facing the problems of the present.
Or of the future.
Right, and we need to update. It's not a matter of tweaking a system that's broken. The system needs to be changed completely. We're living in the past.
Joe, recently on the news, they were talking about virtual schools, and there's an experiment here in Massachusetts, in the western part of the state. They have 250 kids, high school students, that are being enrolled in this virtual school, and that means that they have to get up in the morning, turn on their computer, and get their educational process through the computer, being either monitored by a parent, a neighbor, or somebody, making sure that they get their work done. What do you think that's going to take? What type of kid would be successful under that mentorship?
Well,
or you think it's a good program?
You know,
or would it be a good program?
I don't think that in itself is a good program. I think it is a step, not in the right direction, but it's a natural step that we have to take to get to where we want to go. I mean, like I said, I want to put classes into schools that focus on solving the problems of the future. We have members in our government who are still fighting to solve the problems of the past, which no longer apply. I don't think we need to make school longer, because kids need their freedom to be creative outside of school. So how do we fit another class into a schedule that's already so full?
Well, you mentioned a statement here, and I'm not so sure that I can totally agree with that, because I look upon the length of the school day, the time that kids are in school, and yet you said they need to be creative out of school. And what's happening is now kids are coming out of the school, out of the day, and then if they're not involved into an athletic program or a cultural program, they're just hanging out. And the hanging out is getting them into, I don't need to tell you what that part of their lives are becoming.
I agree with that, I mean?
But I think so when you say looking into other things, could those other things that we need to put into the system, other than the science and math, the social studies, you know, and all the physical education and music and everything else, and you're talking about, does those curriculums need to change to meet the needs that you're talking about?
Yes. I think you talk about kids hanging out and getting into trouble. I think that sort of stems from the activities that are forced on them. They're bored, you know. They need a direction to go, and the direction that we're pushing them in is it doesn't mesh. It's the direction of the past, and it's confusing.
So how do we introduce them, other than bringing things into this?
Well, I like this idea that they have about teaching kids online. Sort of. I think they should trade some classes that they have now that are mandatory and make them electives. But you know, schools still need to teach reading, writing, and arithmetic, obviously. But if students want to pursue that, I mean, we live in a day where we can do amazing things with the internet and technology, and there's so much learning available online. That, you know, when I want to learn about the Pythagorean theorem, I don't have to memorize it from years ago in math class. I just go to YouTube. I say, Pythagorean theorem, what is it? Boom, right in front of me. You know, I want to learn about the laws of gravity. YouTube, you know, or Google. I got it right in front of me. You know, I can apply it. I can apply it to whatever project I have at the moment. So I think that schools need to change in the sense that we need to install programs to solve the problems of today and tomorrow. And then get kids' minds stimulated, so that instead of going out and hanging out in the corner, they go home and they say, okay, I want to learn about, you know, what else can I do? Google it, and so many people are addicted to the internet anyway. They're on there not doing anything. And now, you know, we could have a program on the line that is like an after-school thing. You go there, it's only educational. You know, you go there and you don't have access to buying stuff on eBay. You don't have access to the Facebook. It's not email. but it's a section where you can learn whatever you want to learn, and you can go. You know, you can go to Wikipedia, and you can read one article, and there's links on every article, and you can oh, this is interesting. I'll click on that, and it'll bring me to another article, and there's 600 links on that article, and you can grow. You can go wherever you want to go, and you can educate yourself.
Okay.
But the school's job needs to be to push us in a stimulating direction toward the future.
Good. Joe, everybody's talking about Washington and Washington being broke. Number one, do you think it's broke? And if it is, how would you go as a U.S. Congressman to fix it?
I think it is broke. I think it's forgotten about the direction that we want to go. Again, sort of everything, all of our problems today, I think, have to do with the fact that we've forgotten the direction that we want to end up at. We have to shoot for ideals. You know, we live in reality, but if we don't shoot for ideals, that's where we're going to stay. You know, reality is a compromise of the reality of yesterday and the ideals of tomorrow, and we've forgotten how to compromise. We've forgotten how to grow as a society. We're just sort of putzing around in one spot, thinking that you know, you get a job to make money and that's the end. But that's the means to an end. That's not the end. And I think our government's forgotten that. Go ahead.
Good. No, we got about a minute. Joe, why should I vote for you? Or why should people vote for you? You got a minute.
Well, I think it's time for new blood in Washington with new ideas. I mean, if we want to solve the problems of tomorrow, we're going to need you know, the youth of today to step up. And right now we got people in Washington who are still, you know, fighting the Cold War. I think they mean well. I think that we definitely have some politicians that are in the pocket. They're war politicians. But I think a lot of, you know, the government means well. But I say vote for me because we need new direction, not just tinkering of an old system, because that system's broken. All the amount of tinkering in the world's not going to fix it. We need new ideas, and I have lots of ideas, and I'm not the only one. People I talk to, you know, these aren't original ideas, really. They're just, you know, listening to people and you know, coming up with ways where we can shoot toward a better future, not just maintain what we have.
Joe, I wish you well. I wish you good luck on your venture, and you're welcome to Tank Talk anytime.
Hey, great. Thanks a lot, Bob.
And I want to thank you for tuning in to Tank Talk. And until next time, this is your host, Bob Tankard, saying good evening.